Yeah, Mr. Tolley's pretty good. I would have liked for him to finish it, but at some point you gotta. I wasn't gonna let him go, much more. I didn't really, to be honest with you, it was a long top of our bottom of the eighth, but still he would have killed me with his bare hands if I took him out. So he was really good. He was really good again. 8 2/3, 13 strikeouts, and then the lone walk cost him and maybe trying to get a complete game. But no, I thought he was really good. I thought I thought Chat makes an unbelievable play and then hits a double. And it's one of those deals if you're a basketball coach and the guy pulls up from the logo and shoots it and you say, oh no, and then it goes in, you say, great shot. Yeah. Same kind of thing with that deal. Probably wasn't the smartest deal, but I think the play, I think he made his mind up after he turned around first base, and he took off on it. But Boyers again, squared up a couple balls, had 3 hits, and another really good at bat in his first at bat on the F9. Took a good swing, but I think the main thing is the hitters in terms of what they worked on with on Tuesday and Wednesday with Coach Bruce, and it's paying dividend in terms of their approach, and again I thought it's not always pretty, but you look up at the end of the night and you get 12 hits and you score 6 runs and against a really, really good left-handed pitcher. So played good defense. Payton did an awesome job on the mound, and then we did what we needed to do offensively about stringing some stuff together. And when something didn't go right, we had guys that were picking each other up, which is great to see.
Yeah, you went out to the mound at the top of the 9th inning and quick meeting with Tolley. What was that? Just a
again, a long half inning, and then the review. So he had to wait around again, and I just went out there. I kind of knew what his answer was, but I went out there just to hear. I wanted to hear him say it to me, and he said he felt amazing. And so at that point, I knew he was going to get, go against the next guy. And if he didn't get that guy, I already had it made it in my mind that would be his last guy, and we turned to Zach. So, but it gives us a great opportunity in terms of, your starting pitchers go 8 innings and then 8 2/3. So you've only had to cover, an inning and a third going into the final game. So we have a lot of guys available down there, and excited to see Cole go out and pitch, and we got to be eager and ready to go tomorrow. We've been in their position, already multiple times this year, and I know what that feels like, and I know what is being said on the other side in terms of the mentality of them showing up tomorrow. So we have to match that and worry about ourselves, but at the same time have an understanding of we know what it feels like to be, trying to win a series or trying not to get swept. So it's going to be, we need everybody tomorrow for sure.
Over the last 4 starts, we've seen a noticeable difference in Tolley's command. He's dominating the strike zone, hasn't walked a ton of guys.
Mm-hmm.
Was there something that changed in his rhythm or routine or what he's doing, or is it just, kind of him growing into the season?
Yeah, I think a little bit probably has to do with the fact that he isn't hitting a ton right now, which I think gives him the opportunity to really focus on what he needs to do as a pitcher. And I think from the point that he kind of had that deal in Kansas, and then him not really getting a ton of at bats, I think it's turned into his focus being a true dominant Friday night guy, and I think sometimes big guys, it takes a little time for them to kind of get all synced up in a season, and I think at this point I think he's feeling pretty good in terms of where he's at mechanically. And the big thing for me tonight was the slider and then the slower breaking ball. Now I think he did a really good job of throwing those 2 pitches and mixing those 2 pitches in as well as the fastball.
Has there been any conversation with him or just as a staff about maybe being pitcher only the rest of the year?
No, not at all. I think you've seen we're willing to kind of give a lot of people different opportunities, and there's we were probably a guy away from probably having another guy getting his first at bat this year. So we're trying to give guys opportunities and see what they do with them, and with him it's kind of, you hate to mess around with the fact that you got a guy that's going on Fridays that you feel pretty good about every single week, but at the same time, when we brought him in here, we were planning on him being the middle of our order and being our Friday night guy, and we'll get back to that point. I think part of it is his durability and making sure that we're not putting too much on his plate, but I'll tell you what, he's taken some, like the last 4 days, he's taken really, really good BP. better than he has in a really long time. So, I think, you probably might see a couple more DHs out of him. Probably in those midweek games and maybe on like a Sunday, just so it's after he's done pitching, he can just focus on hitting.
You talked about being in Houston's position about backs against the ropes. Does it like a weight lifted off the shoulder slightly with your first conference series win?
No, I don't think so. I think the main thing is we've talked about we have to handle hard better. I said it last night after last night's game in terms of Kara Lawson from Duke's. I think it's a pretty famous about 3-minute speech that she gave her Duke basketball team, and I think it resonated with us. I thought, when it got hard, are we handling it well? And I think when you have that type of mentality of, hey, it's going to get difficult at times, but can we as a group handle it together? And instead of having negative things happen and thinking negatively, can we flip the script and let's think positively about something that may be a negative and get to the very next pitch, because I think we were hanging on to too many pitches too long, and next thing you know, we weren't handling hard better. And so that's the main thing that we've been really trying to do is do that. And I think last night was a big deal, the 4 spot in the 4th inning, of guys being able to just take a breath and relax and just go play the game. And all of a sudden you start seeing guys and they're visualizing good things and thinking good things are going to happen. And that's what sports are. Sports are like, it's all about confidence. And when you don't have it, that's a really difficult game. But when you do have it, all of a sudden, it's not so bad when things maybe don't go your way, because you still have the confidence that the next time it's going to be, or the guy behind you, or the guy that's going to pick you up out of the bullpen is going to have your back. So I think you're seeing a lot more trust with our roster with one another. And again, there's, it was easy yet hard going 13-0, and then there's that middle stretch the last couple of weeks where it has been really difficult, and you had totally forgotten what it was like at the beginning of the year, and it takes just a game or an at bat where all of a sudden it could flip back the other way. So it's just a matter of just keep going.
You feel like Brunson's hit yesterday to drive into was maybe that at bat for you guys?
Yeah, I thought that one. I also thought the Curtis Byrne one yesterday. With Brunson, I think Curtis has maybe followed it up to get the 3rd and 4th run home in terms of. But I thought we've been super aggressive offensively, and I thought we've gotten really good swings off. So, all the credit goes to the kids and Coach Bruce and everybody coming back and really getting ready to go to work, because that's what it takes. There's a lot of times when we make it more difficult than what it needs to be, and sometimes it's as simple as just stick to the process and don't worry about the results.
Notice Coach Long was calling pitches tonight. I know at the beginning of the year you talked about wanting to hold on to that. Did you make that switch, or is it
Long time ago.
Okay.
Yeah, that was the first week of the year.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's been doing it. Obviously, yesterday was his 17th under Division I game, and he's got a great rapport with those guys, and so he's been doing it pretty much the whole year, and does a phenomenal job. And a lot of the credit of how the guys continue to get better and better goes to him. In terms of his daily work with those guys and them getting better consistently. That's what you want to see. You want to see your team get better and better, and I think hopefully we're on that right trajectory.